there's a creature known as the most passionate lover of the ocean. Not because of romance, but because it has 3 hearts beating at once. It's the octopus, a true master of camouflage beneath the deep sea. But have you ever wondered, how can such a mysterious creature be caught in quantities of over 3 million tons each year, processed and turned into a familiar dish in millions of meals across the globe? From the depths of the open ocean, octopuses are harvested by specialized vessels that sail through the night, returning to port with loads of freshly caught seafood. From there, they enter a modern processing line, undergoing a closed-loop system that locks in their natural ocean sweetness before being transformed into frozen octopus blocks, ready to take on dining tables worldwide. Today, we'll step inside some of the most advanced octopus processing plants, where cutting-edge technology meets speed to handle hundreds of tons of octopus every single day. All of it will be revealed in this video. The United States ranks only 6th in the world for octopus catch volume, behind China and several other coastal nations. Yet it's the country's network of advanced processing plants, stretching from California to Rhode Island, that truly surprises the world. Hundreds of tons of freshly caught octopus are handled daily with near-perfect precision, rapidly frozen and exported across 5 continents, turning the U.S. into one of the most sophisticated octopus processing powerhouses on the planet. The octopus is a creature that sparks both fascination and confusion. What most people mistake for its head is actually its body, housing all its internal organs. And its mouth? It's located right in the center of its arms, used to bite and feed, and sits alarmingly close to the anus. As if that weren't strange enough, when mating season arrives, male octopuses don't reproduce in the usual way. Instead, they use a specialized arm called the hectocotylus to deliver sperm into the female's body, sometimes detaching the arm entirely in the process. Gentle in appearance, the octopus is in fact a true predator of the deep. Armed with 8 powerful sucker-lined arms, it wraps tightly around prey, restrains every movement, and then pierces through crab shells with its sharp, beak-like mouth. When threatened, it releases a dense cloud of black ink, creating the perfect smokescreen to vanish in the blink of an eye. Each year, the world consumes over 3 million tons of octopus, and much of that is caught using traditional methods, by trap. Not with trawl nets or massive industrial vessels, but with millions of ceramic or plastic pots dropped to the seafloor by fishermen, mimicking the rocky crevices octopuses love to hide in. In offshore fishing grounds across the Pacific, especially in Japan, South Korea, and the US West Coast, small boats set out as early as 2 or 3 a.m. Octopuses are solitary creatures that hunt at night and retreat to shelter at the first light of dawn. If the traps aren't retrieved in time, they slip away, leaving only empty pots behind. Each boat may carry between 500 and 3,000 traps, operating continuously for days at sea. And this isn't just a hunt for seafood. It's a strategic contest with one of the ocean's most intelligent creatures. In Japan and several coastal regions of China, an ancient method of octopus fishing is still practiced, using a single fishing rod with a sharp hook. No bait, no traps, just a swift jerk of the hand when sensing the subtle pull from the depths. As soon as the octopus breaches the surface, fishermen immediately stab a metal hook into its body and haul it straight onto the deck, because even the slightest delay could see the creature slip away and vanish into the night like a ghost. It may look simple, but this technique demands lightning-fast reflexes and a firm grip, since a fully grown octopus can weigh up to 10 kilograms, slippery and fiercely struggling. What's more, the octopus has no bones. Its body is so flexible it can squeeze through a gap the size of its own eye. That makes holding onto it once it's hooked not just a challenge, but an unforgiving duel between man and one of the ocean's greatest masters of disguise. In the Mediterranean, where deep blue waves kiss ancient coastal villages, many fishermen still rely on traditional octopus fishing using set nets, a method that has lasted for centuries. Long nets are quietly laid out along rocky reefs at night, waiting for unsuspecting octopuses to wander in during their hunt. While not the most efficient, sometimes hundreds of meters of net yield only a few octopuses, tangled with seaweed, small fish, and ocean debris. This method has one major advantage. The octopuses are often still alive and healthy when the boats return to port. This ensures optimal freshness as they're sent directly to processing facilities. And so, despite the rise of modern technology, many coastal communities in the Mediterranean remain loyal to their time-worn nets, preserving both tradition and the essence of the sea. Leaving behind the blue ocean, they embark on a new journey, entering a rigorous processing chain inside modern factories, where cold steel machines transform these intelligent marine creatures into finished products ready to reach the world. Upon arriving at the factory, the first step octopuses must undergo is pre-processing, a crucial starting point in the entire modern handling chain. Each octopus is placed on a workstation where workers manually remove inedible parts, such as the ink sac, internal organs, eyes, and the hard beak located between the arms. This stage is carried out entirely by hand with meticulous care and high precision, aiming to preserve the natural shape and ensure the meat structure remains intact, a key factor in the final product's quality. After the initial pre-processing, the octopus is sent directly to the washing area for thorough external cleaning, preparing it for the next in-depth processing steps. Living close to the seafloor, octopuses often hide in rock crevices, coral, or sandy caves, so their bodies are usually covered in mud, sand, algae, and a protective slime layer. If not properly washed, these impurities can affect both the quality and flavor. That's why this rough cleaning step is mandatory before any further treatment. The octopuses are transferred to a specialized spinning washer, where cold water and centrifugal force work together to remove most of the slime and debris on the skin. This device functions like an industrial seafood washing machine. Octopuses are placed into a spinning chamber, where high-pressure cold water continuously sprays while the chamber rotates, stripping away the sticky layer and contaminants. On average, each cycle can clean 150 to 200 kilograms of octopus in just a few minutes, equivalent to the output of about 15 to 20 workers operating manually. However, due to their many deep grooves and suction cups, slime often remains in areas the machine can't reach. At this stage, workers must hand scrub each octopus using a specialized soft brush, focusing especially on the spaces between tentacles, where bacteria tend to accumulate if not thoroughly cleaned. On average, one worker can clean about 80 to 100 octopuses per hour. This is not just a hygiene step, it's a meticulous, repetitive, and highly precise process. After washing, the octopuses are sorted by weight and size, usually divided into three main categories: under 500 grams, between 500 and 1,000 grams, and over 1 kilogram. After sorting, the octopuses are divided into two main processing directions. Larger ones continue to the boiling and freezing line, while the smaller ones, often referred to as baby octopuses, are taken to the tray packing area. Here, workers carefully arrange each baby octopus into stainless steel trays, with their heads and tentacles aligned in the same direction to form neat, organized rows. Once neatly arranged, the trays are sent straight into the deep freezing chamber. Inside, the temperature is rapidly reduced to below -35 degrees using advanced cooling systems, freezing the octopuses within 1 to 2 hours. This process locks in freshness, preserves the original shape, and inhibits microbial growth. After freezing, each tray is separated, and the octopuses are vacuum-packed in PE bags, passed through a metal detector for food safety, then boxed, labeled with traceability info, and stored at Biny 20, ready for export worldwide. For larger octopuses, post-harvest handling isn't as straightforward as with baby octopuses. Instead of being frozen immediately, they must undergo an important thermal bath, parboiling at 95 to 100 degrees Celsius for several minutes. This step is key to preserving firmness, shape, and color. Skipping it could result in mushy, bland flesh with no elasticity, greatly reducing commercial value. Under near-perfect temperatures, the meat firms up, retaining its moisture and natural sweetness. Then comes the magical transformation. In just a few minutes of boiling water, the octopuses turn from pale gray to a vibrant reddish pink. This color shift isn't due to dyes or tricks, it's a natural biological reaction. You're probably familiar with boiling common seafood, but have you ever wondered why this strange phenomenon happens? Immediately after boiling, the octopuses are plunged into a deep cold water tank for a thermal shock, a crucial step that instantly halts the cooking process, preserves firmness, and prevents overcooking. Without this step, residual heat would continue to cook the meat from within, breaking down the protein structure and resulting in mushy texture and loss of elasticity. From the cold tank, the octopuses move onto a drainage conveyor, where tiny grooves and a stream of cool air help dry the surface quickly and evenly. This preparation step is essential before packaging, as excess moisture can negatively impact both flavor and shelf life. After being perfectly boiled, the bright red octopuses are quickly transferred to the preliminary packaging area, where every operation takes place in a strictly sterile environment. Here, workers carefully arrange each octopus into specialized golden trays, ensuring they lie neatly without bending or overlapping, preserving their elegant appearance like a true culinary artwork. The trays are then wheeled straight into a cold storage room, where the temperature is consistently maintained between 0 and 2 degrees Celsius. This isn't just refrigeration, it's a resting phase that allows the octopus meat to reach optimal texture and freshness, ideal for sashimi slicing or final stage packaging. In the final stage, modern industrial systems take over. Whole octopuses and separated tentacles are placed into form-fitted trays, then passed through a high-speed vacuum sealing and film wrapping line. This all happens at lightning pace, thousands of trays per hour, ensuring that every product meets strict hygiene standards, comes with traceable origins, and is ready to conquer premium supermarket shelves and the world's most demanding markets. In the cold depths of the ocean, the octopus is a quiet, eight-legged creature, masterfully camouflaged along the seafloor. But in the vibrant world of street food, it takes on an entirely different identity, familiar, enticing, and full of charm. From smoky, char-grilled octopus skewers infused with satay aroma to golden takoyaki balls whose crispy shells give way to a creamy center with springy bites of octopus. Each dish delivers a surprising encounter between ocean mystery and urban flavor. No longer a shadowy creature of the deep, the octopus becomes the star of bustling night markets, a humble ingredient with the power to win over even the most discerning palates. With a leg span reaching up to 1.8 meters and a body weighing more than 12 kilograms, the king crab is not only worthy of being called the king of the crustacean world, but also a symbol of an entire chain of harsh value. But why do they cost thousands of dollars each? Their high price doesn't come only from the rich, firm meat craved around the world, but also from the dangers involved in harvesting them. living at depths of 200 to 400 meters, in waters ranging from just -degrees to 4 degrees Celsius around the Bering Sea, Alaska, and the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia. King crabs force fishermen to face brutal natural conditions, making this one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Another core factor behind the king crab's luxury value lies in its reproductive behavior and extraordinarily rare growth process in the natural world. After migrating from deep waters into shallower areas to reproduce around December to February, male and female king crabs mate immediately after the female molts. Each female carries between 50,000 and 500,000 eggs under her abdomen for nearly a year, yet less than 1% of them survive to adulthood. To reach market size, a king crab must take 5 to 7 years, going through more than 20 molts, each one a gamble for survival at the bottom of the icy sea. It is this complex nature that makes king crabs impossible to farm on a commercial scale, making every bite of meat worth every dollar spent. And in the dead of winter, when thousands of king crabs gather in shallow waters to find mates, humans also head out to sea, not for love, but to hunt. That very mating season becomes the fiercest hunt of all, where man, nature, and courage together create the symbol known as the red gold of the ocean. Before every king crab fishing trip, the very first step, seemingly simple but absolutely critical, is preparing and inspecting the crab pots. Two main types of traps are commonly used, with key differences. In the US, heavy square steel pots are favored for their sturdy design, built to withstand rough seas and depths of over 300 meters. Meanwhile, in Russia, many vessels use lighter round pots that are easier to stack and more suitable for shallow coastal waters. Each pot is equipped with a biodegradable escape panel and identification tag, then neatly stacked on deck, ready to be baited. The crew carefully selects fish like herring or cod, king crab's favorite meals, which must be rotten enough to attract them. Sometimes what they endure isn't seasickness, but learning to live with the overwhelming stench of rotting fish that clings to everything for weeks on end amid the icy seas. At the same time, the fishing vessels undergo thorough inspection and reinforcement, equipped with heavy-duty hydraulic winches capable of hauling up the traps from the deep. Everything must be ready to face the rough seas and the unforgiving cold. Once everything is ready, the massive fishing vessels charge through the waves into the open sea. The fishermen are no longer just seafarers. They become fearless warriors, braving snowstorms, howling winds, and waves as tall as buildings. It's a treasure hunt in the heart of the ocean, where courage, skill, and a bit of luck determine the success of the journey. The hunt officially begins once the vessel reaches the deep offshore waters, where king crabs gather in dense numbers. The timing of trap deployment is also a key to success, often carefully calculated and carried out at dawn or during low tide, when king crabs begin to move in search of food along the seafloor. Crew members work in perfect coordination to lift the massive traps, now packed with bait, and lower them into the ocean depths. Each drop is a gamble against the sea, a hopeful bet to haul in the most prized catch. Every trap is tethered to a buoy floating on the surface, allowing the crew to return and retrieve them after several hours, or sometimes days of waiting. But the ocean is never predictable. Some mornings, the traps come up overflowing with king crabs. Other times, they're disappointingly empty, forcing the crew to change course and continue the endless search across the vast, uncertain sea. After about 12 to 24 hours of waiting, the vessel returns to the drop zone to collect the first reward of their courage. At this point, breaking the ice is not only a necessary step to get the vessel running again, but also a matter of survival. Reducing weight, maintaining balance, and preventing the ship from capsizing in the freezing, open sea. Pulling up the traps is no easy task. These giant steel cages, now coated in mud and seaweed, can weigh over 540 kilograms when hoisted from the water. A hydraulic winch system is used to lift the traps onto the deck, but that's just the beginning of the crew's real workload. They must swiftly open the trap lids and dump the crabs onto sorting tables, all while waves crash relentlessly against the ship. The massive king crabs thrash wildly, and with claws sharp as knives, they can cause serious injuries if not handled with precision and care. Although the fishing season lasts only 2 to 4 weeks each year, fishermen work up to 20 hours a day, battling 80 kilometers per hour winds, 10-meter high waves, and temperatures that can drop to minus 20 degrees Celsius. Even so, the reward is well worth the risk. With revenues reaching hundreds of millions of dollars, a single season's pay can go up to $100,000. Are you ready to set sail and take on this job at least once in your life? Once the traps are hauled up and crabs are dumped onto the deck, the sorting process begins. A critical step that determines the value of the entire expedition. But not every crab qualifies. If the minimum legal size for harvesting lobsters is around 8.3 centimeters, then only mature male king crabs with a shell width of at least 16.5 centimeters meet the criteria for processing. Female crabs and undersized individuals are immediately returned to the sea, helping protect the marine population and ensure sustainable harvests in future seasons. The entire process must be carried out swiftly and accurately, as every passing second can affect the crab's quality. While the crew works tirelessly, the ship continues to sway in the rough sea, and even the slightest mistake could lead to injury or lost catch. Once selected, the qualified crabs are placed into aerated seawater tanks on board, keeping them alive and healthy all the way back to port. After days adrift in the open sea, the final haul of king crabs arrives at port, ready to be sent to modern processing facilities. Each trip can bring in several tons of crab, earning fishermen tens of thousands of dollars. But there are also times when they return empty-handed, while fuel, gear, and crew costs continue to burn through a small fortune. It's a brutal gamble at sea, where humans face off against nature, not just to make a living, but to preserve a piece of the ocean's soul. As soon as the boats dock, the king crabs are swiftly transported to the processing plant and placed into seawater tanks to maintain their freshness. Next, the crabs are transported to a processing facility for sorting, preliminary preparation, and packaging for domestic consumption or export. After meticulous sorting, the king crabs are pre-processed while still alive to preserve peak freshness. Depending on market demand, the final products are typically divided into 3 main categories: whole crabs, pre-picked crab meat, and crab legs. The flagship product, accounting for nearly 80% of total consumption due to their thick, easy-to-use meat. That's why leg processing requires both precision and skill. Experienced workers use specialized knives to separate the body, removing the shell and torso while preserving the legs and claws, the most valuable parts. A single miscut can rupture the delicate meat inside, compromising quality and causing significant loss. At some modern processing plants, the crab leg separation stage is fully automated using robotic systems, optimizing both speed and precision. Equipped with intelligent sensor software, robotic arms can handle thousands of pounds of crab per hour, ensuring high production efficiency while maintaining perfect quality for every leg. Once separated, the crab legs are thoroughly washed to remove any impurities before moving on to either cooking or rapid freezing. After cleaning, the crab legs are transferred into a steaming or boiling system, where the temperature is carefully maintained between 93 to 95 degrees Celsius for 12 to 15 minutes. This step is crucial to ensure the crab meat cooks evenly, retaining its natural sweetness and signature tender texture. If undercooked, the meat may remain bluish or raw. If overcooked, it becomes dry and loses its natural firmness. Immediately after cooking, the crab legs are transferred into chilled water tanks, maintained at around 0.5 degrees Celsius to halt the cooking process and bring the temperature down to safe levels before freezing. This rapid cooling stage is critical. If not done properly, the crab meat can lose its firmness and absorb excess salt, compromising both its flavor and texture. After pre-chilling, the crab legs are immersed in an ultra-cold brine solution, maintained at temperatures between -18 degrees Celsius and 16 degrees Celsius. This highly efficient rapid freezing method locks in the crab's natural tenderness and juiciness, while preventing the formation of large ice crystals, one of the main causes of tough, damaged meat. In the next step, the crab legs are dipped into a cold water bath to form a thin outer layer of ice, known as a glaze. This delicate coating acts as a natural protective barrier, preventing direct air exposure, reducing moisture loss, and locking in essential freshness. In the final stage, the king crab legs are vacuum sealed and carefully packed into insulated boxes, each weighing around 20 pounds, an optimal design for long-distance preservation and shipping. Here in the United States, around 200 tons of truffles are harvested annually, a mere speck compared to the mountains of corn and wheat we produce. Why the tiny number? Well, truffles aren't easy to grow or find. They demand the perfect combination of tree roots, soil chemistry, and sheer luck. Plus, these fungi grow slowly, often taking years to mature. This scarcity is why truffles can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars per pound. Talk about being worth their weight in gold. Literally. Timing is everything in the truffle game. The best time to harvest truffles is during the cooler months, typically from late fall to early winter. Why? That's when they've developed their signature aroma, an earthy, nutty perfume that makes foodies weak in the knees. In the US, Oregon is the truffle capital, thanks to its truffle-friendly trees like Douglas firs and hazelnuts. Other states like California and Washington are also making their mark in the truffle scene. But how do we find these underground gems? Enter our unlikely heroes, pigs and dogs. When it comes to finding truffles, humans are practically useless without a little help. That's where pigs and dogs step in, acting as nature's ultimate truffle detectors. Let's dive into their unique roles and the techniques that make them indispensable in the world of truffle hunting. Pigs have an innate talent for sniffing out truffles, thanks to a chemical compound in truffles that mimics a pheromone found in boar saliva. This makes truffles irresistible to pigs, especially females. Their powerful noses can detect truffles buried up to a foot beneath the soil, and their enthusiasm for digging them up is unmatched. However, there's a catch. Pigs love truffles so much that they often try to eat them. This leads to a literal tug-of-war between farmer and pig. Imagine a 200-pound sow wrestling with her handler over a truffle worth $500. It's as chaotic as it sounds, and while entertaining, it's not exactly efficient. While pigs have been traditional truffle hunters for centuries, their food-motivated nature makes them a bit of a liability. Plus, their size and strength can lead to damage in truffle orchards. This is why many modern truffle hunters have shifted to using dogs. Enter the dogs, who have become the preferred truffle hunting partners for modern foragers. With training, dogs can detect truffles just as accurately as pigs, but without the appetite for the prized fungi. Popular breeds for truffle hunting include Legato Romagnolos, a curly-haired Italian breed, and even Labradors and Spaniels. Training a truffle dog takes time and patience, It begins with teaching the dog to recognize the distinct scent of truffles, often using samples hidden in training grounds. Once the dog associates the scent with a reward, usually treats or playtime, they're ready for the field. In the forest, these dogs work closely with their handlers, sniffing the ground and signaling when they've found something promising. The bond between dog and handler is crucial. It's a partnership built on trust and mutual respect. Once a truffle is located, the human forager steps in to extract it. Harvesting truffles is a delicate operation that requires precision and care. Using specialized tools, foragers carefully dig around the truffle to avoid damaging it or disturbing the surrounding soil too much. The goal is to leave the root system intact, ensuring the tree can produce more truffles in the future. The harvesting process is not just about skill, but also intuition. Foragers need to determine the exact ripeness of a truffle based on its scent and firmness. Harvesting too early means the truffle won't have its full flavor, while waiting too long risks it rotting underground. It's a fine balance that comes with experience. This process is time-consuming and labor-intensive, but it's also deeply rewarding. Each truffle unearthed is a small victory, a testament to the skill and dedication of the forager and their four-legged or four-hoofed partner. It's not just a job, it's a labor of love and a dance with nature's rhythms. After the truffles are unearthed, their journey is far from over. These fungi are incredibly perishable, so speed is of the essence. They're quickly transported to processing facilities where their transformation begins. The first step is cleaning. Freshly unearthed truffles are often covered in soil, so they're gently brushed and rinsed to reveal their bumpy, fragrant surfaces. Afterward, they're sorted by size, quality, and type. Premium truffles are reserved for fine dining, while the rest are destined for delicious truffle products. Top-tier truffles are carefully packed into breathable containers to maintain their freshness. These gems are then shipped off to restaurants and gourmet markets, where they'll be shaved over pasta or infused into oils. It's a short but glamorous life for these fungi. For the truffles that don't make the fresh cut, the fun is just beginning. Factories get creative, turning these fungi into a variety of products. Fresh truffles are infused into high-quality olive oil, creating a luxurious ingredient perfect for drizzling over salads, pizzas, or anything that needs a touch of magic. Truffle sauce. Think of this as Truffle's greatest hits album. a rich, flavorful sauce that pairs beautifully with steak, pasta, or even fries. Truffle chocolate. Yes, you read that right. Truffle-flavored chocolate might sound odd, but the earthy, umami notes of truffle pair surprisingly well with sweet, creamy chocolate. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed. Each of these products undergoes rigorous quality control to ensure they deliver the signature truffle experience. After all, when you're dealing with culinary gold, there's no room for error. You might think truffles grow anywhere, but these fungi are picky. They'll only flourish in the roots of specific trees, like oaks and hazelnuts. Truffle farming begins with inoculated saplings, which are young trees that have been treated with truffle spores. These saplings are planted in carefully prepared soil, where they'll grow and, hopefully, produce truffles in a few years. Farmers must be patient. It can take 5 to 7 years before the first truffles appear. During this time, the soil's pH levels, moisture, and nutrient content are closely monitored to create the perfect environment for truffle growth. It's like raising a particularly finicky child who refuses to eat anything but gourmet meals. Truffle orchards also require regular maintenance. Farmers prune the trees, manage competing vegetation, and ensure the soil remains rich in nutrients. The effort is enormous, but the reward of a thriving truffle orchard is worth every ounce of sweat. Truffles are a testament to the beauty of nature's complexity. As one of the oldest foods on the planet, mushrooms were once believed to be the food of the gods, reserved exclusively for royalty and the elite in ancient times. Out of approximately 2,000 edible mushroom species, only about 20% are cultivated on an industrial scale, with familiar varieties like shiitake, enoki, and especially white button mushrooms, which account for 40% of the global market. In the race to dominate the multi-billion-dollar mushroom industry, China leads by a wide margin, producing over 90% of the world's supply thanks to massive-scale, low-cost cultivation. Meanwhile, countries across the globe such as the United States, the Netherlands, and Poland stand out for their advanced technology, consistent quality, and strong exports of premium-grade mushrooms. With a meaty, slightly chewy texture, high plant-based protein content, low calories, and rich fiber, mushrooms are often dubbed nature's clean meat, especially popular in modern vegetarian cuisine. In the world of fine dining, mushrooms can even take on a luxurious image, as seen with the white truffle, the most expensive mushroom today, fetching prices as high as $7,000 per kilogram. Have you ever wondered where the mushrooms you eat every day, on pizza, in noodles, or in salads, actually come from? The journey of a mushroom begins with an organic feast called the substrate, a nutrient-rich mixture that serves as the mother soil for fungi. This is a crucial step that determines the yield, quality, and uniformity of the final product. No matter how advanced the technology is, a mistake at this stage can lead to the failure of the entire crop. Unlike plants, mushrooms have no roots and don't need sunlight. Instead, they grow by directly absorbing organic matter from their surroundings. Depending on the species, the substrate formula is adjusted accordingly. For example, oyster mushrooms prefer straw and soft sawdust, while shiitake mushrooms thrive on cellulose-rich wood chips. The process begins by collecting carbon and nitrogen-rich materials such as wheat straw, hardwood sawdust, ground corn cobs, aged chicken manure, used coffee grounds, or cocoa husks. The straw and other dry components are soaked in tanks or water systems to soften their structure and increase initial moisture content. Next, additives like gypsum, limestone, or rice bran are mixed in to adjust the pH, neutralize odors, and help control toxic gases during the composting process. The substrate is composted for 5 to 10 days, during which aerobic microorganisms break down organic matter, generating heat and raising the internal temperature to 50 to 70 degrees Celsius. The rising steam is a clear sign that fermentation is progressing effectively. The mixture is regularly turned to ensure uniform decomposition and to prevent anaerobic conditions. Next comes the pasteurization stage, where the mixture is treated with hot steam at 58 to 65 degrees Celsius for 6 to 8 hours. The goal is to eliminate pathogens, retain beneficial microbes, and create an ideal environment for mushroom mycelium to thrive. After composting and sterilization, the compost is shredded and loosened by a machine, then passed through a continuous conveyor system to increase aeration. The mushroom spawn, typically grain kernels inoculated with mycelium, is evenly spread over the compost using an automatic spreading system, ensuring accurate distribution and providing an ideal foundation for mycelial growth. Once mixed with spawn, the compost is packed into trays, bags, or bins, depending on the farm's setup, and placed in sealed incubation rooms arranged in tiers for space and climate efficiency. This 14 to 21 day stage is kept at 24 to 26 degrees Celsius, 95% humidity and low light, allowing the mycelium to spread across the substrate like a white web. At this stage, a special layer called casing is added to the surface of the compost trays. This casing is typically made from peat moss, fine soil, or a mixture of crushed limestone, and sometimes mixed with sterilized clay or fine sawdust to adjust moisture retention and texture. The materials are blended using large mixing machines with spiral blades which fluff the soil, break up clumps, and ensure an ideal, airy, and uniform mixture. The casing layer doesn't provide much nutrition, but plays a crucial physiological role. It triggers changes within the mycelium system, stimulating the transition from the vegetative stage to the fruiting body formation stage. The casing layer plays a physiological role, triggering the mycelium's transition from the vegetative stage to fruit body formation. To maintain moisture, prevent erosion, and create a stable, cool environment for mycelial development, water is gently sprayed onto the casing layer using an automated irrigation system. Growers adjust the environment by lowering the temperature to 16 to 20 degrees Celsius, introducing dim light, and increasing ventilation to stimulate mushroom pinning. After 5 to 7 days, mushroom pins begin to appear and grow rapidly, often doubling in size within 24 hours, and reach harvest size within the next 3 to 5 days. This is also when skilled hands and synchronized machines take part in one of the most sensitive and crucial stages, mushroom harvesting. At large-scale industrial mushroom farms, automated harvesting machines are used to quickly collect mushrooms in large quantities. These systems are typically integrated directly into multi-tiered growing racks, where thousands of mushrooms grow evenly on substrate trays. At harvest time, mechanical sweeping arms move along each tier, pushing mature mushrooms onto a conveyor belt below. The machine can process up to 600 kilograms of mushrooms per hour, 3 to 5 times faster than manual labor, cutting labor costs by up to 70% and ensuring timely harvest before mushrooms overgrow within 24 hours. However, due to its bulk sweeping mechanism, around 5 to 10% of mushrooms may get bruised or have broken stems. And if you're the type who gets mildly OCD about imperfect mushrooms on the conveyor, don't worry, there's still a more delicate option, hand picking, where each mushroom is selected and handled like a work of art. In this method, the mushroom picker uses hands, knives, scissors, or specialized tools to gently detach the mushrooms from their substrate without crushing the stems or leaving any soil behind. The plump, white mushrooms, as soft as cotton, are carefully placed into breathable trays, with each movement resembling the careful handling of a fragile, living creature. The key factor is timing. Just a few hours of delay, and the mushroom caps can spread open, becoming soft and losing their freshness. Some mushroom varieties can double in size overnight, making the picker's task feel like waiting for the birth of a child. Always alert. Mushrooms have the ability to communicate through an underground network called mycelium, which helps them exchange nutrients and alert each other of potential threats. However, when harvesting, the picker cannot make the mushrooms sense their intrusion. Therefore, they must be extremely careful not to disturb this delicate network. An experienced worker can harvest over 1,000 mushrooms a day. They must quickly identify which mushrooms meet the standard and remove any that are moldy, cracked, or have damaged stems. Thus, each mushroom is not just a product of nature, but also part of a refined ecosystem where humans and nature harmoniously coexist. In modern mushroom farms, harvesting robots have become powerful allies, replacing humans in tasks that require precision and gentleness. Equipped with smart cameras and image processing technology, these robots can accurately identify mushrooms that meet quality standards and gently pluck them without damaging their delicate stems. Next, the mushrooms are passed through a circular blade to trim off any excess stem, ensuring a neat and uniform appearance. With the ability to operate continuously without fatigue, robots help increase productivity, reduce labor costs, and maintain consistent quality. Although they have yet to fully replicate the finesse of human hands, these steel arms are clearly paving the way for a new era, where technology and agriculture join forces to elevate the humble mushroom in the age of smart production. Meanwhile, right after being separated from the substrate, the mushrooms are quickly transferred to the primary sorting area, where the first evaluation takes place, determining the next journey for each individual mushroom. Here, skilled workers or intelligent image scanning systems carefully inspect each mushroom based on strict criteria, from size, stem curvature, and cap color, to the surface cleanliness and overall integrity. Mushrooms that meet the standards, straight stems, evenly rounded caps free from bruises, are moved to the next processing stage. In contrast, those with cracked caps, damaged stems, or uneven shapes are sorted out for other uses, such as further processing or drying. Within a fraction of a second, the system can deliver accurate and consistent decisions, a seamless blend of machine speed and human-defined standards. Sorting may seem simple, but it is a crucial step in defining product quality, where each mushroom is treated not merely as a piece of agricultural produce, but as an individual unit, carefully selected before it reaches the consumer's hands. After being sorted, the mushrooms continue their journey on specialized ventilated trays, typically made from high-grade food-safe plastic. These trays are designed for durability and optimal airflow, helping to protect the mushrooms from bruising during internal transport, while also maintaining the right humidity and temperature to prevent wilting or dehydration before the next processing stage. An automated conveyor system moves the trays along pre-programmed routes to designated processing zones, such as washing, slicing, fresh packaging, or further processing. Thanks to this seamless system, the factory can handle several tons of mushrooms per day, with impressive accuracy and an extremely low rate of damage. This is a key factor that enables the modern mushroom industry to preserve freshness, consistency, and food safety. From farm to supermarket, from family meals to high-end dining tables. Mushrooms that meet commercial standards, uniform, intact, and visually appealing, are packed into plastic containers, then either wrapped in plastic film or vacuum sealed, depending on preservation requirements. In addition to whole mushrooms, some fresh mushroom products are sliced to suit quick preparation needs or the ready-to-eat food market. The packaged mushrooms are then labeled, marked with expiration dates, and placed in cold storage, awaiting distribution to supermarkets, restaurants, or export to international markets. Meanwhile, another portion of the mushrooms is sent to advanced processing lines to be turned into delicious, convenient canned mushrooms with a long shelf life. After being carefully sliced to uniform thickness, the mushroom pieces are ready for the canning process, a stage where hygiene and precision are paramount. Before the slices are added, the tin cans are thoroughly cleaned and sterilized with hot steam to ensure food safety. Then, the mushrooms are portioned into the cans, followed by a brine filling station, where a light saltwater solution, sometimes enriched with citric acid or color stabilizers, is added to help preserve and maintain the mushroom's natural flavor. From farm to table, the journey of the mushroom ends with cleanliness, precision, and convenience, a testament to the perfect harmony between nature and technology. But if you think this is all the food industry has to offer, get ready, because what comes next will truly surprise you.